Hello, I'm Wendy Wilson, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Realizing Potential. I am always honored when an individual accepts my invitation to come on the show. Today is no exception. I've known this amazing young woman for a little under 10 years. She started at Albany State University, and we just kind of gravitated to each other. She is an exception in every sense of the word. I've always likened her to another daughter. And all of the great accomplishments that she has made in just a short period of time just leave me amazed and just bewildered at times. She is now taking on entered into the entrepreneurial world and just hitting it by storm. I could brag about her all day long, but I'll let you learn more about the amazing Miss Khadijah Nuriddin. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. It's so good to see you.
Oh, it's good to see you as well.
Yes. I've been keeping up with you on all the different social media platforms, but and sometimes I'm slow in keeping up. I still had you in the corporate world, and now you're doing. I thought you were doing that simultaneously, but you said no. I hit the ground running, and now I'm in the entrepreneurial space, and you are doing an amazing job. But before we go into your business, tell the viewers where you're from, what led up to Albany State, what you did here, and then life after Albany State.
Okay. So I'm from Athens, Georgia, and I attended Albany State 2009 through 2013. Um, what led me to Albany State was it was a family school for me. A lot of my older cousins and aunts and uncles attended Albany State. So before I was even a student, it was kind of already my home away from home. And while I was a student at Albany State, I think I was active in just about everything you can imagine, from pre-alumni, SIFE, which is now inactive. There's so many changes within the organizations, SGA, um, and a couple of others, smaller projects in the community as well. So I really enjoyed my time at Albany State and being able to be as involved as I was, and that really played a big role into, my journey after graduating. I spent about 6 years in corporate America, and I kind of realized last year, tail end of last year, that I just may be a little bit too creative for the boardroom or corporate America as people have seen it thus far. So I am on a quest to creating my own corporate America the way I see it. I like to be hands on. Um, I like to be very creative and things outside of the box and not be so set to being behind a desk and following all the rules. So I'm on this journey of creating my own table of what corporate America looks like or could look like for me.
Yes. Wow. So let's go back a little bit. You received your foundation, of course, at Albany State. You were a marketing major,
Yes.
correct? Yes.
Yes.
And so after that, you graduated, you were trying to find your footing, you got into the corporate world. What did you do? What were your specific roles in the corporate world? Because I'm a firm believer that everything should compound. And I think, as you said, although you felt like you weren't able to find your niche in the
Mhm.
corporate world as we know it, because of your creative spirit, that you decided, let me do it independently or carve my own way, which is wonderful. But there were still some experiences that help you, if nothing else, come to that conclusion and help to build what we see before us. So tell us a little bit about those experiences.
Yes, so I got my start in the consumer packaged good industry. I started off as an intern, and that internship led into a full-time job after graduation. So I did a lot of account management with consumer packaged goods, which sparked my interest in project management because with marketing and launching a product and getting a product from the conception phase to the completion phase and on the shelf in stores, there's a lot of project management that goes on. So I went on to get my MBA with a specialization in project management and became a project manager for launching products for various companies. And although that was very fun, it was always something different. And I learned a lot just about, as you know, being a consumer and what goes into putting the products on the shelf that we buy every day. I wanted to be still more creative and hands-on with the process of it. So for a long time, I did event planning. It's kind of, I used to call it my side hustle. It was what I would do and on the nights and weekends, my little 5 to 9 job and my weekend job, planning events. It started off with a lot of my friends from college getting married and having babies. So there's baby showers to plan, engagement parties to plan, weddings to plan. So that was just always my side hustle for a good, I would say 3 to 4 years. But as I started to exit out of corporate America, I decided I could still use my degree. I don't have to be in corporate America to do marketing, or I don't have to work for someone else to use my degree. So I have built a business around marketing and events. And now I specialize in helping other small businesses achieve their project-based goals with marketing and event planning services.
Well, I love that that's a part of your portfolio, and now
Mhm.
primary to your ability to create and generate revenue for
Yes.
your world as an individual. That's so important, and I think we've learned that lesson, or it's been heightened even more so as we live through this and navigate this pandemic.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, a lot of people lost their jobs because of the major shift in the economy, and they had to then tap into those innate or those natural skills, or those skills that were developed as a result of a degree at Albany State University. And that hadn't been the case with you. You just said it's time for me to make this leap and do something that I'm very passionate about. And so I continue to be proud that you did make that decision. It is very brave. I'm from that old school, and so I'm like, okay, you need a 9 to 5 and the benefits and blah blah
Yes.
blah, all that comes with it. And what we've learned is that there's still no guarantees with that. So why not pursue something that you absolutely love and that you are passionate about? It resonates with you. And I guess I saw this coming even during your days at Albany State University. It would make sense that you would, take the entrepreneurial path.
Mhm.
Again, came up with the idea of the clothes closet. That was very successful for our students. Just so many independent thoughts that you then developed, and then they got the entire body, institutional body, to embrace. You were I was not only a huge fan of yours, but the president at the time, President Freeman, would love to call
Mhm.
your name about the great things that you were doing. But I'm reminiscing of days of old because I'm just so proud of you. But let's talk about. So you left the corporate world. You said, I'm going to do this full time. Tell us about your business, the name, what it is that you specialize in, the types of clients that you have.
So I'm a very passionate person. So the name of my business is The Passion Palette. I, as you know, I get stuck into passion projects. I come up with these ideas and I start passion projects. So that kind of birthed the passion palette. And I specialize in events and marketing, project based and long term projects. And I like to service small business owners who do not have a fully staffed marketing team
Mhm.
to come in as a consultant or a short term project lead to facilitate the goals that they have for a marketing for their marketing strategy or an upcoming event. So I've worked with clients to do grand openings for their business, from to conferences, annual conference or launches, as well as to spearhead their marketing campaigns for a certain initiative that they have going on, or helping them build that marketing strategy and teaching them how to facilitate it and manage it on their own. So I think it's very important, as a small business, to be a support to other small businesses, because there's areas in business that I lack, like the whole financial piece of it all. That's where I'm like, I need to hire somebody. I need help. So I know for people who are not as creative or do not have that marketing background or just the headspace for it, because it could be very broad and it could take a lot of time and thought process. I want to be of service to a small business owner who really wants to succeed, has a great service or product, and just needs someone with a knowledge base to help them.
You said something that, see, you're just so my child. You said something that is just so important, and it is missed by many entrepreneurs, by many businesses, large, small enterprises, doesn't matter the size. It is that you cannot be the holder in terms of your knowledge base of everything. If it is, if you are, that's wonderful. You are that unicorn, you are that anomaly. But what you said is, I don't have expertise in a certain area, and that area is still instrumental to the success of my business. So you said, I'm not a master in terms of the area of finance or fiscal management. And so I secure those services. I see so many organizations fail, and it is because they don't understand the value and importance that whatever it is that you lack doesn't mean that it can be ignored. You need to still find that area of expertise, incorporate it into your business. It is comprehensive to the whole package. It's just essential. So I love that you say that. I could be masterful in creating quilts, but I may be just awful in terms of the marketing piece of it. So that's where I need to go and secure your services. So just because you have a specialized skill set does not mean that you can ignore those other areas that are important to the business as a whole. So
Yes.
thank you for understanding. Again, that Albany State University degree at
Yes.
play.
Yes.
Notice I'm giving no credit to the post-secondary piece, the graduate school, and
I
I'm
think
teasing you.
Albany State was definitely the foundation.
Yes.
And I agree with you. I think that's where my entrepreneurial spirit kind of came out, with coming up with the idea of the business vault, the clothes closet, and through the marketing clubs that I was in and the different competitions we went through, and just that experience as a whole, it kind of put an idea of what my career after college could look like.
Sure.
And once I entered corporate America, I won't say I was totally disappointed. It just wasn't what I thought it would be. And for a long time, I did kind of have the mentality, well, this is adulting. This is what it this is what it is. But then I quickly was like, it doesn't have to be like this. I can create my own table and curate my own opportunities and provide opportunities for other people who look like me as well.
I
So
love it. I love it. You'll have to check in with your little sister Iman, because she has those
yes.
pains of adulting. I hear them quite a bit. Mommy, this adulting is not for the faint of heart. I'm like,
Woo.
yeah, keep living, keep living.
Now I remember when I was younger and adults would say, don't grow up too fast,
Oh.
don't rush to grow up. And my mindset then is like, oh, I can't wait to be grown. And now I'm just like,
No.
this is a ripoff.
I know. I just turned 54. I still have those moments like, ooh, this adulting. Can I press rewind?
Right.
But
Just
we
for a
keep
moment.
just for a moment, yeah. But we keep moving forward. We keep moving forward. So now, tell us a little bit about how you have impacted other entrepreneurs that look like you. I follow you on Instagram, and I know that you have tons of relationships with a lot of other companies and you serve as a brand ambassador. How has that impacted you in your role?
It's had a great deal of impact on me being able to network. And one of the things that I absolutely love, and you always hear me brag about Albany State, is it's like everywhere I go, there's somebody from Albany State.
Yes. Yes.
Everywhere I go. And in this season of me starting this new journey into entrepreneurship, I've been so grateful to be able to work with a lot of different businesses, a lot of different entrepreneurs, some established and some getting started just like me. But a lot of them are either Albany State graduates or have some affiliation with Albany State. So it just brings, it's like, bridging that gap. It just brings a connection together. I've been very fortunate to partner with a lot of my peers they're kind of on that same journey as me. They attended Albany State, they got their degrees, they may have went into the workforce, but soon after decided, hey, this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I want to do. So anything from caterers to photographers, other event planners, tax services, actual products, I've been able to network with people from peers from when I was at Albany State to some people who were there, before me, and being able to have that connection with a client or a partner, I feel has been very impactful in just keeping my spirits up. Especially, like I said, I've been full-time entrepreneur for a little bit over a year. So I was kind of not even 6 months into this big move before
Mm,
the pandemic happened. And it was very scary, one, to just make the decision to do it.
sure.
Um, but I looked at it as I have to trust myself. I have to trust that I can take care of myself. I can do what I need to do to take care of myself. And then this pandemic happened. And then I was like, oh Lord, what am I going to do? Like,
Yes.
it's like all faith kind of went out the window for a second. But then I began to network and sign up for all of these virtual workshops that started coming out. Zoom is like my favorite coworker at the moment. um, and I started to network with other entrepreneurs who were kind of in the same space as me.
Mhm.
And in a way, it began to be a support system to see, COVID, this pandemic is something that we have to deal with. So let's pivot. And how do we pivot? And now more than ever, small businesses need what I'm offering. My my pivot was just being able to make a connection to make it affordable, so where people can reach out to me and be able to afford the services as a small business owner that has also went through a pandemic
Yes.
just as I have, and being able to sustain in that. So I can humbly say I'm grateful for the journey. It hasn't been easy. It's been plenty of long nights, plenty of tears,
Sure.
because I'm a crybaby, plenty of tears. Um, but it has been a journey, and I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade it.
Outstanding. Let's take a little quick break. And when we return, I want to learn a couple different things. One, let's share with the viewers the package of services that you offer,
Mhm.
how they can then get in contact with you. And then I've got a question that I ask all of my guests. I need to know if you have, and this will give you an opportunity to think about it, if you could invite three people over for dinner on an international scale, living or deceased, who would you invite and what would you serve for dinner? So give some quick thought to that. We'll be right back.